Greetings, teachers, and good vibes to you from the Element Elephant. I'm on my Teachers Pay Teachers store website today, and I want to give you a tutorial on how to make and upload these cute little animated banners for your store. They have 3 of them currently right now that you can upload some small advertisements to or direct your viewers where you want them to go. So I'm going to walk you through how to do this using the program called Keynote. Which is primarily for Mac users. It's a free app that you can download. You can also do this in PowerPoint. There are other tutorials online, but I'm just going to be using the Keynote application today. I think it would be easiest for you to open up 3 browser tabs, and I am going to show you tiny URLs of the 3 browser tabs that you want to have in just a moment. But for easy, quick access and uploading today, we want to have your store profile where you edit it. You can access this through the dashboard tab or link. And this is where you are going to be adding the big banner or the main banner for your Teachers Pay Teachers site. And then you'll also want to come to this Home Dashboard Customize My Store link. This is where you can upload the banners for your branding. And so this is where that long skinny banner will be, and then that one that is off to the side down towards the bottom of your categories list. The last one that I want to have you open is called this onlineconvert.com, and this will just allow us to convert the video that we're going to make using Keynote into a GIF file so that we can upload it to Teachers Pay Teachers, and it will be able to have the little animations that we're going to work on making today. So if you can't get there on your own, I've made these tiny URLs, and I'm just going to pause for a moment so that you can either pause the video or take a snapshot of this. And really what this is, I've just made 3 tiny URLs of those browser tabs I just showed you that I had open. And the one to upload your main store banner, and then the 2 smaller branding store banners, and then lastly that GIF converter. What I have over here is very important for Keynote users. Keynote is a little finicky in how it lets you resize your document that you're working on. And so really what we need to do is we'll need to double or sometimes triple these actual measurements of what Teachers Pay Teachers allow you to upload in pixel width for your banners. And we'll need to kind of do some math and convert them. So I've done that as a shortcut for you here of what size we'll need to make them. So the one that I'm going to show you today is the main store banner upload, and I will show you how to create a document in these sizes, and then you'll follow those same steps to do the smaller banners as well, and then I'll show you how to resize them correctly using this converter. It's super easy. So go ahead and meet me back at your browsers. Then the first thing that I'm going to do is check the fact that this background is gray here. So if you want to match the background that Teachers Pay Teachers has underlying your main store banner, then I will show you how to do that right now. If you just want it white or blue or whatever that you want, then you can customize that as well. So I'm going to open up my Keynote application. And I'm going to click, I like to do this blank white presentation because then I can customize it however I want to. And that's what I'll click. Now in order to size this to the correct size, and if you just remember, we need to size ours to 900 by 300 pixels. That's just doubling the Teachers Pay Teachers side. Keynote does not like to go this small. So we're just going to up it, and it will continue to keep that same formatting as we change it. And we're going to do that by coming up here to the top right of your screen and clicking on this document button. And then we'll come down here and we'll click on custom slide size. And then remember, we wanted to make ours 900 by 300. That was just 450 by 150 multiplied by 2. And it will format the correct banner size for us. If you want it all in the view, you can just come up here to this view button, and then the whole document will be inside your view. So I already have one started. I'm going to minimize this right now and just show you this is the same dimensions, but all I've done, this is very similar to PowerPoint or Google Slides. All I've done is I've come in here and I've added some shapes and I've added some text. The way that I did these kind of running circle banners is I just copy and pasted a circle of the same size, and then I would just format it using the helpful little margin lines, and I would just create the even spacing between them. So you can play around with that, and you can add whatever shapes in. They have all sorts of things in here, flowers, animals, all that stuff. And then you can always change the color of all of these shapes as well. So once you kind of play around with this and have your first slide done, what really this is this will be each of the different animations that you will see as it scrolls through. So this was one slide, here's another slide for me, and then my third slide. And so you can add as many as you want to, and it will just keep on loop repeating through those little slides that you're creating in your Keynote right now. So now the important part, how to animate them. And it's pretty easy, but you're going to want to play around with it on your own a little bit. You can have things animate one by one, or you can group things to animate as a whole. So I'll show you both of those steps right now. If you come up again to this top right menu, there is a button that says Animate, and you can click on that. And then you can either have an animation where these objects enter your document, or they leave your document, or they're just active within that document. So I'm going to click on this one because I want them to stay there. And I like when they pop. I think it's kind of cute when they blink like that. And so you can have it happen at a quicker pace. So you could have your pops kind of go quicker or faster or slower than what I just showed you. And then you can also mess with the scale and how far they pop. We can make the pop be gigantic. So kind of up to you and how you want to mess with that. So let's go ahead and let's make it a little bit bigger here. And then I want you to come and click on this button called Build Order. We want this to start, and we're going to just call it after previous build. And really what we're trying to do here is we're going to get these to all go at the same, or they'll all fire repetitively instead of you having to click like you would to go to each next slide. And so if I preview that, then they'll just kind of go on their own. Okay, that's great. So then what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to have this one. I like to do the typewriter for text, but you're going to get whiplash if you have to read that fast. So I'm going to slow it down a little bit, and you can always preview how quickly you adjust it to, and that's fine. And then down here, I'm going to show you how to group an animation together. So you click on Group, and now you can see they're all bunched together. And when you do an animation for that, if we just were to go back and do that same pop, they'll all pop together. This is where you want to come to that Build Order button again. You can see we have all of our circles here, and they're firing, one after another. This is going to happen right after it, but we don't want to have to do that with the click. So we can either say this can happen with the last, this can fire on the last little bubble pop here, or we could have this appear first. So let's go back and let's drag this all the way up to the top here, and I'm going to put it before all of my circles fire. And I don't want that to happen on click. I want that to be after transition as well. And so what that preview looks like is this will happen first, and then your little bubbles will start to fire. You can have them all happen simultaneously. You could have this happen at the same time. I could do with build one. So as this is typing, I could make my little buttons pop. And then remember I had that last little guy down here where these guys all popped at the same time. I could have this happen here. I could have it happen anywhere in between here. We'll just have it happen at the end. And again, we want it to do that with our last bubble pop. And so then I can watch a preview of this just by clicking here, and it would show me in real time what this animation would look like. And it's just a cute way to keep things moving on your site, to keep your viewers interested. And so after all these little bubbles have their time to pop, there's my big pop, and then I'm finished. The next important part here is if you close this preview, we want this transition, when I've highlighted this entire slide, we want the transition to be automatic. Otherwise, our GIF is going to stop mid-go and it's not going to transition all the way through. So if I come to my next one, again, we want that transition to be automatic. Okay. I'm going to show you how to make a cute little arrow. For this one, we can click on the Format option up here. And you can make your arrow kind of look however you want to. I am going to, I'll select that option. And then I'm going to make it a little bit fatter so that my viewers can see it. I don't have to have an endpoint on one of the sides. I'd rather have it, let's go ahead and do that. So I can mess with my endpoint. And then what I also really like to do, is in this option they have the little dotted arrow, and I think those are adorable. And then I'll also show you how to animate these really cute as well. So I'm happy with that arrow. It points to my little star at the top where you can follow my Teachers Pay Teacher site. Now I want to animate him. So I'm going to click on him and I'm going to click Animate. And I'm going to build him in. And my favorite one to do down here is line draw. And that just literally draws a line. How cute was that? So I'm going to go ahead and do that, and that looks great to me. Again, I want to build that order, and I want it to be after the transition. I don't want to have to click the slide. I'm going to have my effect for this one, again, be the typewriter. I like that one a lot. Go back to your build order. Make sure you either do it while that arrow is going, which I like to do, or after. And then you can preview that. Again, that typewriter went a little quick, so what we can do here is make it go slower, and then we can preview that. And I like that they end about the same time. Again, mess with these, animate them as you will. We can just quickly add a blink in. You can add the number of blinks that each little circle will do. If you only want them to blink once, then that's fine, and you can make this go as fast or as slow as you want. Again, build that order, and then you'll have to shift down to highlight each of your circles if you want them to go with the previous one so that you're not having to click every single time. Ooh, that's a little bit of a nightmare, but that's okay. And then lastly, I'll show you how to animate one of these little guys. You can have him come in. A pretty one that a lot of people like is Shimmer. Woo. And again, if we wanted to do this one as the typewriter, just for consistency's sake, your recent ones will go there. And then for this guy, again, to build him in, we could do that line draw, which I love. Let's make sure when we build the order that we want each of these to happen after the previous build, and then we can preview it. So my little elephant will come first, and it'll show you to download my freebies. All right. Not very beautiful right now because I'm going through it really quickly, but I'm going to show you how to export this now and get it uploaded to your site. So the next thing that you're going to do is just come up here to, and let's just check one more time. Good check. Make sure that you highlight each of your slides and you make sure they say automatic. If we want to watch our whole thing live, we can come up and click play. Wow, this is so much fun and so easy to do. However, it's going to make you watch every single one of those bubbles pop, and so you can mess with those features as you want to for your own store, and then it'll automatically go to my next slide and then automatically to my last slide. And so these things will all transition beautifully. Now the last thing is if you wanted to format that background color, the hex code for the background color that would match your Teachers Pay Teachers site, so I'll show you right here. This hex code is just F1, F1, F1. And if you type that into the color wheel hex code area, if you're familiar with what I'm talking about, then it will look like it is a clear background or that it is a see-through, transparent background. I'm going to come back to Keynote here. Okay. And the last thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to come up here and I'm going to export this as a QuickTime video. I want to adjust these 1 to 1. And then I want this to be the highest quality that it can be, which is 1080p. And I'll click next. And then I have a file called blog banner, so I will do this one as test1 and click export. It will then create my little movie that I just designed, and this is the easiest part. Now we're going to come back to our browser tab, and here's where we want to go to convert image to GIF file. You will choose that file that you've just created, which mine was in blog banners, and we called that the test1 banner. And then here's where we want to adjust our size to what it needs to be on the Teachers Pay Teachers site, which it always shows you in the little jargon right down here. So remember, we made ours 900 by 300. Now we want to make it 450 by 150. So coming back here, I've uploaded this file, and now I want to make it 450 by 150. And that's the only option I mess with, and then I click Convert File. It's going to take its time. And this will automatically download to my computer. It does take a little bit of time. It's a large file. All right, and there it is. So it just requires a little bit of patience. I can move this to wherever I want it to be. If I want this GIF to remain in that blog folder, that's fine. It'll automatically put it in downloads. I'm just going to drag it to my desktop right now so it's easy to find. And now I'm ready to upload it. So when I come here, I'm going to make sure that this says image link. And then I'm going to come to choose file. And I'm going to find that file that I just made, which is our test GIF, right? And here it is. Yay, and it works and it's animated and it shows you exactly what it's going to do. I'll click open, I'll click save, which I'm not going to because that one's not as fun as mine. And then when I do come back here, I will see this. So I really hope that this helps you out. If you have any questions or advice for me of things to update or add to this tutorial, please leave a comment and let me know what I can do better. Again, you can follow me on Teachers Pay Teachers. I am the Element Elephant. I need followers. Or you can click the banner and it will link you right to my blog. Find some awesome tips and tutorials and some freebies on here as well, where you can find all of my social media accounts and follow me there to stay up to date with the great deals that I post. Thank you, and I appreciate your time today. Just a quick update. I apologize for any confusion on those of you who don't know where to access, where to put in hex codes for backgrounds. So all that you'll need to do here is just click on your slide in general to make sure that it has a transparent background so that it doesn't look like a sticker sticking on top of your Teachers Pay Teacher site. And so all we'll need to do back in our keynote is click on our slide in general, and then we'll come to Format button, and that Format button will pull up the background. Click on Color Fill, and then it will give you some automatic colors, but if you click on this little color wheel, this may pop up for you. Come over here to this red, green, blue color slider tab, and here's where you'll enter in that hex code, which like I told you was F1, 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 F1. And once I do that, if you notice, this darkened just a bit, and this is the color match for your Teachers Pay Teachers site so that it looks transparent above there. Again, I apologize for any confusion, and I hope this really helps you out. Please leave a comment and rate and review. Namaste, teachers.